Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted, as always, to be joined by Gregory Dole. This is a final predictions video for the heavyweight fight happening tonight. It's not Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. It's Agit Kabayel versus Frank Sanchez, which is still, look, it's similarities to Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury, isn't it, Greg? It's two undefeated guys, and it's a hard one to call. So there are some comparisons there. As always, we're going to dive right into it. It's a tricky one, this. And it's part of a really good undercard to keep us entertained on Saturday night, isn't it? Agit Kabayel, Frank Sanchez, both undefeated, both similar age, similar height. There's a lot of comparisons there. Greg, what is your final prediction ahead of this heavyweight one? I'm really interested to see what you have to say here.
Yeah, thanks, Elliot. I think it's going to be a really, really good fight. I was very, very impressed by Agit Kabayel against Makhmudov. Similarly, I was impressed by Frank Sanchez against Junior Fa. Both guys have, they've went in what we would call a bit of the deep end in the past. Kabayel went in with Derek Chisora, who was right up there in the world rankings at that time. Frank Sanchez, Efe Ajagba, good fighter, Efe Ajagba. It's a really tough one to call because what impressed me in Kabayel's last fight, Elliot, was his patience. He's a fighter that doesn't look as though he gets worried. He'll sit and wait for his opportunity. He'll work his opponent out. Frank Sanchez, he's got the class and the speed. He threw against Junior Fa. It was like a left uppercut to the body, right hand to the head. And I was so impressed by it. I'll be honest, Elliot, I've struggled with this one a lot. I don't know what the bookmakers are making of it. I'll be completely honest with you, but I would expect them to have it relatively close. I just think that the patience and the speed and the class of Frank Sanchez might just tell in the end. And for me, I think we might just be looking at a Frank Sanchez on points fight. A good fight, but I just think Frank Sanchez might be just a little bit too sharp.
Yeah, look, it's a tricky one. Like I think I'm actually really excited for this one, and I think
Yeah.
that another time this could have been an intriguing main event. Where in the world it would happen, I don't know, but it's happening on on a massive undercard in Saudi. You mentioned betting odds there. You mentioned it was going to be close. You are right. Agit Kabayel is the outsider here at 15-8, 9-2 to win by stoppage, 3-1 to win by decision, which could interest some people. Frank Sanchez 4-9 to win, 2-9 to win by stoppage, and 6-4 to win by decision. It is a really intriguing one. Obviously, I feel like with Saudi, it's a winner stays on environment, isn't
Yeah.
it? I think Joseph Parker, as an example of that, had one great win in the heavyweight division over Deontay Wilder. So he stays on in another tough fight against Zhilei Zhang, and it's that. I think that's one of the reasons why these Saudi events are getting more and more popular. Because if you do win one of these fights, you're not going to kind of be avoided and go missing for a year. Likelihood is you're going to be asked back. Prediction wise, I've struggled with this one. I don't like diminishing fighters when they have a great win, but I question was Kabayel's win over Makhmudov was a fantastic win, or was Makhmudov maybe just not that great in the first place? It's time for another video, but I'm interested to see what Makhmudov does as well. I'm going for Frank Sanchez to win this fight as well. I think he's quality. I think he's very, very good, and he's going to be and he's potentially a future heavyweight champion. I am going to go for him to win this fight by stoppage. So similar but different to yourself, but I'm really looking forward to it. Do you have any kind of closing thoughts, Greg, on what sort of fight you can expect to see tomorrow night? How you can expect to see Frank Sanchez winning?
Yeah, I'm going to sound unprofessional here. First of all, I've got a question for you, and I really should know better. Is this one over the mandatory 10 rounds because it's not a title fight, or is it 12 just due to the magnitude?
So I think it's like sometimes these things they aren't
Yeah.
communicated very well in boxing.
Yes.
From what I'm reading, it is 12 rounds, which surprised me. I kind of assumed it would be 10,
Yeah.
but it is 12. But you know, some of these things are the first bell might go tomorrow,
Yeah.
and it's 10 rounds. So
Yeah.
what I'm
We've seen
reading.
that before, haven't we? But no, yeah. Final thoughts on it, Elliot. I think Frank Sanchez will be patient tomorrow. I think he is a patient fighter. If you look at these guys that have Cuban descent, that they're very skillful. They can go in looking for a finish, but they're careful about when they look for a finish. Makhmudov hit Kabayel with some really, really big shots, and Kabayel took them. And I'm just hoping Frank Sanchez's team have watched that and they've basically said to themselves, we're not going to go in and walk through this guy. This guy can take a shot. We just need to be patient. We just need to be we need to be technical. And I just think that you'll see Frank Sanchez maybe go on the back foot with slight signs of aggression as the fight goes on. But I think you'll be content to outbox Kabayel because Kabayel is such a tough man. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see the second half of the fight because heavyweights they naturally tire in the second half, and I think that will tell us an awful lot, Elliot.
Yeah, great stuff. Look, I'm really looking forward to this one. We'll see what happens. We'll see if both of us are right and both of us are wrong. Other fantastic fights in the undercard as well, of course. Joe Cordina, Anto Kakachi, Maris
Yeah.
Briedis and Uppertide, the rematch, fantastic. And yeah, we don't need to go into detail about the main event. I'm sure everyone knows what that is. If you're watching this video, please do look at the rest of the content on our YouTube channel. There's lots to take in involving Greg, involving myself, involving other members of the team. Greg, thank you for your time. Enjoy the fight and of course enjoy the main event, and I'll speak to you again very soon.